Hello everyone and welcome back to Almost There, a twisted telenovela here on Disney Magic. We are on episode 25, chapter 24. So let's get into it. Tiana ran like the wind. She ran until she was out of breath, until she was far away from the Shadow Man's dreadful French Quarter dungeon. She didn't stop running until she reached Canal Street. The wide boulevard teemed with people going about their day, as if nothing were amiss, as if they weren't all in danger because of her actions. Tiana flattened her back against the rough brick of a nearby building. She shut her eyes tight, wishing for a moment that she could shut out the world. What had she got herself into? She could travel back in time, she would never have made that deal with the Shadow Man. She would have smashed its talisman to the ground and let the chips fall where they might. Now she was tied to Facilier for life, stuck playing his games. As much as she loved having her daddy back, Tiana never knew he would never want this for her. If he knew what she'd done, the power she'd give to the Shadow Man, he'd be so disappointed. As for Naveen, well, she would have figured out another way to save him. Anything was better than the bind she now found herself in. Tiana? Her eyes popped open to see the flower vendor in front of her. Oh, Miss Rose! Tiana held her palm against her chest. You scared me. Took a moment to collect herself. How are you doing? It would seem I should ask you that question, the woman said. You look troubled. She blew out a sigh. I have had a rough morning. Oh, Miss Rose transferred the basket of her irises she carried from one arm to the other. How so? Tiana wasn't up for rehashing what had happened. She couldn't bring herself to ignore Miss Rose. I'm not sure if you heard about the mosquito attack at Congo Square, Tiana started. When the woman shook her head, Tiana filled her in with a condensed version of the assault. That isn't the half of it. Something strange is happening to people around me, my friends and associates. It's hard to explain. Miss Rose murmured. She reached over and patted Tiana's hand. Actually, it's quite simple. There's an old saying. From your mother? From my grandmother, she said. She would say, Tanbo bat nan rage, men si lakay livin dance. The drum is beaten in the grass. It is at home that it comes to dance. Tiana was much too distressed from her confrontation with Facilier to decipher Miss Rose's idioms. What does that mean? It means that acts that are done outside the home can have repercussions for all those inside the home. Your actions affect more than just you, Tiana. It's something to remember. She patted her hand again. You take care. Tiana mulled over the woman's words as she watched her walk away. Her shoulders slumped as she experienced something she had never allowed herself to feel. Hopelessness. Her head still reeling, Tiana started walking again, heading to the only place she could think of where she felt in control, where she felt safe. When she reached the supper club, she went directly to the pantry and retrieved the ingredients for her beignet dough. Tia? She stiffened at the sound of Charlotte's voice coming from the dining room. A friend entered the kitchen a moment later. Hey, Tia, do you know if I left my shawl here or... Charlotte stopped mid-sentence. Tiana's, what's wrong? Is it the bugs from this morning? They were scary. No, but... Before she could utter another word, Tiana burst into tears. Oh my goodness, Tia, is it Miss Eudora? Is she okay? Mama's fine. It's nothing, she hiccuped. Nothing like that, but... Lottie. Oh, Lottie, I've messed up something awful. Charlotte rushed over and wrapped an arm around her shoulders. She guided her into the dining room and urged her to take a seat. Using the dish towel she grabbed from the kitchen, she wiped the sticky dough from Tiana's fingers. Now, Charlotte crooned. It can't be worse than what we all just went through at Congo Square. But it is, Tiana lamented. She picked up a piece of fuzz on the tablecloth, and she tried to come up with a way to describe the pickle she was in without betraying the terms of her and Facilier's deal. Do you know who the Shadow Man is? Charlotte's head jerked back. You mean that man with the emporium in the quarter? I've heard he's bad news, Tia. I know he is, she said. Oh, how she knew. How could she explain the situation to Lottie without her friend thinking she'd gone off in the deep end? She couldn't very well tell Lottie that Naveen had once been a frog and would have remained that way if not for Tiana's deal and Facilier and her daddy. Could she honestly tell Lottie that her strong, vibrant daddy had passed away, but was now back because of the Shadow Man's friend on the other side? She looked up from the table into Charlotte's confused eyes. I can't go into details, but I got involved with him, and I was threatening to ruin my life. But Tia, why? Charlotte asked. I had no other choice, Tiana said. She fidgeted, scrapping at bits of dough that remained in her fingers. You wouldn't understand. I can try, her friend said. She pulled at one of Tiana's hands until Tiana looked at her. Tell me. Tiana chose her words carefully, knowing that one slip of the tongue could prove to be dangerous. She didn't want to involve Charlotte in this mess with Facilier in any way. I came into possession of something this Shadow Man really wanted. In exchange for it, he offered, well, something that I couldn't pass up. But then he changed the terms of our deal, Tiana continued, and lately he's been hounding me to do more. He says I have to keep doing whatever he asks, or he'll hurt people I love. Well, that's awful, Tia. I need a way out, Lottie. I can't allow him to have this kind of hold on me for the rest of my life, and I can't allow other people to be hurt because I was foolish enough to get involved with the likes of him. What are you going to do? There has to be something, someone that he can go to for help. Maybe he can ask Big Daddy. Someone should go to. That was it. Tiana plopped her palm on her forehead. Why didn't I think of this before? She whispered, her heart pounding against her rib cage, as the first bead of hope she'd felt all day began to blossom in her chest. There is someone. Who is it? I can have our driver bring goods to him right now. It's not a him, it's a her, Tiana said, and you can't get there by car. She lives in the bayou. Tiana stood and began to pace between the stage and the table. I need to go to Mama Oda. Who's Mama Oda? Lottie asked with a frown. You don't know her, Tiana said, but she's the only person who I know who can help me out of this mess. I'll have to find a boat. Maybe I can rent one from one of the fishermen at the dock. A boat? The bayou? Tia, this doesn't sound safe. Charlotte moved closer. Listen, Big Daddy knows lots of people. No, Tiana clamped her hands over Charlotte's shoulders. Trust me, Lottie, I know what I'm doing. She pressed a kiss onto Lottie's cheek. Thanks for lending an ear. I appreciate it. Of course, Tia, you know I'm always here for you. I can't let you go traipsing off to this Mama Rhodey person either. Are we fine, Lotte? Janice said as she moved to grab her bag. When she turned, Charlotte looked ready to put up another argument. Don't, Tiana said. Mama Rhodey is the only person who can help. The quicker I get to her, the better off we'll all be.